All right, hello. Happy Father's Day. It's Father's Day in the UK, the US, and Australia. I have been told, maybe even Canada as well, and that's what this show is all about. Thank you for everything, Dad. Thank you for everything that you've done for me. So I really, of course, appreciate that. That's what this day is for. So at least I hope that everybody in the US and in the UK and Australia have all been spending some times with their wonderful dads, and that's what this day is all about. So tonight we will take a look at the son against the father, Papa Carlsen against the son Magnus Carlsen, until I attempt to play against the man himself, Henrik Carlsen, on the app. So that is the plan for today. I hope you guys all enjoy it. I did notice that I had some bitrate issues. I hope that is not too shabby. So we also have some winners of the contest that we did have, which I will also announce, but I will announce it after we are done analyzing this wonderful game by the world champion himself. So I do hope that everything sounds fine. I haven't heard anything from the chat, so that's usually brilliant news. And it's kind of scary that I haven't heard anything, but I do hope everything is great. So if it is all good, then we are gonna take a look at the game between Magnus Carlsen and Henrik Carlsen. So now we will take a deep dive into that. So let's see how the game went. They played in the tournament called the Arctic Chess Challenge back in 2007, so quite a long time ago. And this was when Magnus was 16, I believe, but his birthday is in late November, so he did turn 17 in not too long. I believe this was played in August. Magnus with white, of course, he is the clear favorite, as the rating clearly indicates. But can Henrik stir up a nasty surprise? I really hope he can, but let's take a look. So he goes for 1d4, Magnus. Knight f6 from Papa Carlsen. c4, e6, knight c3, and then he goes d5. So no Nimzowitsch, but Queen's Gambit instead. So that's, of course, very, very nice. Is Magnus going to take on d5, which is the main move here, and he does indeed do so. Henrik recaptures, and Magnus goes for bishop g5. So with bishop g5, he pins this knight here on f6 and essentially tries to, at some point, gain some pressure against this pawn. This pawn is easily defended, but this bishop here creates a rather annoying pin on this knight. However, black sometimes likes to play this little move here, which has the nasty trick of baiting white to capture the pawn. And if white goes for that, he is going to lose, because we can simply recapture, because bishop takes d8 is met by bishop b4 check, and then white is forced to give away the queen, which means that black will be a piece up. So a rather cunning trap, but I do believe most people are aware of it at this point. It's one of the more famous tricks in the position. I severely doubt that Magnus will fall for it, but Henrik instead blocks the pin instantly with bishop e7. So a normal way to proceed. So e3, c6, queen c2. This move is usually played to prevent this bishop from going to the f5 square, and also potentially prepares long castles, which Kasparov demonstrated back in the day could be quite dangerous for black if it's not careful. So Henrik pushes the bishop away with h6, quite a natural move. Every time you get bishop g5 against you, you sort of want to play h6 with a tempo, because when you will castle, you will have this h7 square. So it's basically a free move, so why wouldn't you do it? So bishop h4, castles, and then bishop d3 from the sun here. So bishop d3, developing the f1 bishop to d3 is quite the natural way to proceed. So this is the square for the bishop. Of course, it's much better here than, for example, on the e2 square, where it would not do very much. So rook e8 and then knight ge2, and this may look a little bit weird. Oops. This may look strange, but the point is that you want to play e4 someday. And if you are going to play e4, you need a help from the f2 pawn. So at some point you could play f3 and then e4, and you could get a very, very powerful center here. And that is a common way to proceed. And also, if black's one day plays knight e4 himself, we could also push that knight away with f3. So the knight is usually placed on e2 in this position, and indeed it's better placed here because the knight on f3, and of course it's still a good square, it doesn't really do that much, and then black could get a nice grip on the e4 square. And Henrik goes for the knight jump right away, and I must say that I'm a little bit skeptical if this is the right approach, and that's because you are at risk of getting a kind of a weak pawn on e4, and also it doesn't really accomplish as much. So usually you would actually just develop normally with knight bd7 and potentially knight f8 and even knight e6, and then play g6, knight ge7, and play bishop f5 to trade off this weak bishop against this good bishop. Quite a long plan, but it's quite difficult for white to stop it. So black sometimes succeeds in this very interesting way of playing. And also, knight h5 here is always a move which will trade these bishops immediately. So I will take, and then simply castles, and let's say knight d7 or something. Black's not doing too shabby here. So white would probably have to switch plans and play rook b1, b4, b5, and try to create a backward pawn on c6, which is another standard way of proceeding. So after knight e2, Henrik went knight e4, but I do think it's inaccurate. So let's see how Magnus punishes his father. So bishop takes e7, queen takes e7, bishop takes e4, and then d takes e4. And now Henrik has a weak pawn on e4, which also makes this bishop here potentially quite bad. Although sometimes it's not as bad as it looks really, but you gotta be a little bit careful. And Henrik certainly has to be a little bit careful of his dark squares here in the position, because now the dark squared bishops, they are all gone. So knight g3 comes, and then Henrik doesn't have a choice, and he must play f5 and defend the pawn. And Magnus simply castles. And a very obnoxious plan now is to play f3 and start opening the position. And this pawn will be gone, but then this pawn on f5 will be quite weak, which also means that the king could also be a little bit weak, because f5 open things up a little bit here, which could be very obnoxious. Father-son games are rare, and that's very true. I've played against my father sometimes too, but it hasn't been a very like an occurrence that has happened regularly, that's for sure. But I have met him on a few occasions. He's rated like around 2,200, so he's quite strong. So knight a6, Magnus plays a3. Perhaps a little bit unnecessary, but I suppose that he didn't want to allow any knight before knight d3 stuff in the future. But in all honesty, there's no reason why he should not play f3 right away. But of course, the move a3 makes some sense too. So I like the way Henrik has played, really, because he couldn't place his knight on d7 because that would block this diagonal. So he places it on c7, and honestly, the knight is not so bad on c7, where it could in the future go to e6 or d5. And now Magnus goes for the plan we talked about right away. Hola Savigno, hola Alexandra, ¿cómo estás? Feliz día de papi. Alright, so f3, e takes f3, rook takes f3. There is nothing else to do. And here Henrik sort of goes Henrik style, and he goes for desperate counterplay here with f4. But as you can see on the bar, it really doesn't like that move, and neither do I, because I can just take it. It's a free pawn for not very much. Henrik has the right idea, but he certainly needs to prepare the move before he's able to do so. And at this very moment, this is just a free pawn for Carson Jr. here. So instead, we should just avoid being fancy and play rook f8, because the e3 pawn is hanging in the end. So it's not so easy to grab the pawn on f5. And let's say rook e1. Now you can play f4, because look, the queen pins the pawn on e3, so you will be able to get rid of the pawn on f4. So quite a decent plan by Henrik, but it was the wrong execution. So anyway, f4 was played, and then e takes f4. Of course, if you take with the rook, then the pawn on e3 is hanging. So that's why Magnus took with the rook. E takes f4, bishop g4, and then rook f1. And my question is, where's the counterplay? You have given up a pawn, but you do not have anything, as far as I can tell. It's just a pawn down. And this pawn is also quite strong. So rook d8 comes, and Magnus, he is very accurate in his play. So what he does is that he simply decides to sack the pawn back on d4. And the point is that now, as we can see, the bishop on g4 is lacking squares. So if you do take it, which Henrik ends up doing actually, then the bishop on g4 is going to be trapped. But where is the bishop supposed to go? How are you going to avoid it being trapped? Perhaps you could go queen e3 check, king h1, and then try h5 maybe, and then h4, but it doesn't really seem like it works. I have a lot of nasty moves here, like f6 or even knight e4, and then I think Henrik is busted pretty much. So he tries to take on d4, and Magnus plays queen f2 first. He prevents queen e3 check, and then he is attacking the rook as well at the same time. So Henrik goes queen e3, and now Magnus plays h3, and the bishop on g4 is trapped. Henrik tries to move rook e3, queen takes e3, rook takes e3, and Magnus now plays rook f2. So Magnus ends up only winning an exchange, but it's more than enough to win the game, because the rook far outweighs the bishop here, so as we soon shall see. So rook takes g3, rook takes d2, so now rook d7 is potentially quite deadly, but Henrik is in time. He takes on f5, but then we will bring the other rook to the party here with rook e1, and then potentially rook e7 on the 7th rank, where it's gonna wreak some havoc here. So the position is unfortunately dead lost, and Henrik does fight on for a little bit more, but there's nothing he can do with an exchange down, although he has a pawn. It's not gonna last very much because his minor pieces are pretty bad. They don't coordinate that well. So bishop e6, rook e1, attack c6, so Henrik defends it. Magnus attacks the rook, and now the knight is on its way to c5, and things fall apart for Papa Carson. So knight c5, b6, rook takes c6, takes, and then takes on c7 with check, and the game is pretty much over. King g8, rook c6, rook takes g2. A nice little trick, but we can just take it. Bishop d5 check, king g3, bishop takes c6, and then simply rook c5 when we will take on c5, and these two pawns will march down the board. So pretty instructive victory for Magnus, and unfortunately for Henrik, he had the right idea, but just the wrong execution. So the son surpasses his father, and I guess that's the dream of every father out there. And my father also was very happy the first time I did defeat him, although it's of course you always get kind of annoyed in these family battles. At least I tend to get more angry if I lose to a relative than just a random person on the internet. I don't know why, but I guess it's also a good feeling when your son defeats you for the very first time. And yeah, I could before we move on, I could tell the short story of how I learned chess, and it was pretty weird, to be honest. And the way it started was that I was watching my dad playing blitz on this page called ICC, and when I was a little kid I was extremely obsessed with numbers, so the only thing I was watching was the clock. But eventually I was also interested in what my father was actually doing, because I had no clue what he was doing when he was playing blitz, and I learned the game and surpassed him, I guess, at some point. I can't even remember when, but like 2013, I guess, around there. So quite a few years ago now, but he is a fairly strong player, 2200, and I know that if it wasn't for him, I certainly would not have played chess today, and you would not have seen me in a suit on Father's Day talking about that. So happy Father's Day, everyone. So yes, and before we move on, I want to announce the winners of the competition that we have been having. And before I can do that, I need to take a look. I need to take a look at that. I have it here. Rosario and Vanessa is gonna kill me if I do not. Rosaria, I think that's her name, right? Yeah, whatever. But anyway, they will kill me if I don't announce it. So I will announce it right now. So are you ready? I have no drum rolls, unfortunately. So they said that we had a challenge where all the users, they had to upload a photo with their fathers with the hashtag #ThankYouDaddy, tagging Chess24, Play Magnus, Chessable, and Coaches, or Thank You Dad. Actually, I guess that's a difference. So tagging Chess24, Play Magnus, Chessable, and Coaches, and you could then win 4 prizes for each company. So we do have the winners here. They are all from Instagram. I don't even know how you like contact to get your prize, but I guess you just send a message, or I guess Chess24 or the companies have already sent their congrats. So not too worried there. So let's announce the winners here. And the first winner who wins a Chessable course called the Magnus Touch Chess Strategy is at SaxyBokes1. So congratulations, SaxyBokes. You've earned yourself a Chessable course called the Magnus Touch. So very nice. And then we also have at Rodri Banfield, 1 month premium at Chess24. Well done. Now you can watch my video series called Destroy the French. I hope you will enjoy it. So congratulations to you. At Will Pets Photos has won a 3-month Play Magnus Plus membership. Oh man, that's a great price. So you can enjoy everything the world of Play Magnus has to offer, where I'm also an employee, for those of you who was unaware of that. And then we also have at Venice.name, who wins a 50 euro voucher for a masterclass or a private lesson, one-on-one lesson in coaches. And then he says, hay que anunciarlo en la transmisión y agradecer a todos los que participaron. And that's what I'll do right now. Thanks to everyone who did participate. I really appreciate that. And congratulations to the winner, and good luck for the next Father's Day to those who did not win. So, moving on. I think I've announced most of the things I wanted to say. I also have another important thing to announce, and that is that Play Magnus, they now have their own YouTube channel. So let's all subscribe to that. I just gotta find a link here, because it's sort of a challenge to find the link, as we do not have any videos yet. So I'm just gonna send that link in the chat. Just a sec here. Just gotta. Well, we have 10 subscribers already. That is pretty thrilled about that. All right, so do subscribe to the channel. I'm gonna post it in Chess24. Subscribe to Play Magnus. And we will also write that in YouTube, in the YouTube chat, which is right here. Then we're gonna say subscribe to the channel. And before we finish the day, it's not the longest stream, of course. I'm gonna attempt to play against Henrik. So let's do that right now. And boom, let's see. There we go. All right, so we have Henrik on the screen, and I'm gonna attempt to take this this man down. So let's see if I'm able to succeed in my quest. It's not gonna be an easy task, I can assure you of that. Chess24 Deutschland is rating with a party of 215. Holy cripe. Happy Father's Day. So thank you to Chess24 Deutschland for the raid. Really appreciate that. Should have paid attention to Twitch. I haven't been reading that chat at the very moment, but it seems like MGDX has everything under control there. So there we go. Let's see if we can defeat him. It's not going to be an easy task. He is a very tricky player, but I'm going to do my best, and we will see if I'll be able to do so. So let's play, and it seems like we have only 2 minutes to take him down. 2 minutes. Is it going to be enough? Oh, what is this? 2 minutes. Is it going to be enough to take this guy down? We're going to try with 1e4, g6, d4, bishop g7, knight c3, d6, e3, knight b7 is playing so fast. I'll try f4, grab the center, takes on f4, bishop takes, knight e7, h5, castles, knight b6. Why do I only have 2 minutes? I haven't always had more than 2 minutes. I've had infinite amount of time, and now I'm forced to blitz against the man himself. So I'm going to try to play as solid as possible. King b1, rook e8, maybe try rook e1, h4, knight c1. What is it going to do? Rook g8. I'm going to play knight b3, try to protect the pawn on d4. I'm going to try to attack here with c4, rook c1. I'm going to defend the pawn on d4. He plays queen h3. He's attacking my pawn. I have to defend it. He's playing knight before. He's attacking another piece. I also got to defend that. He goes all the way back with his queen. Queen a4 now. He's starting to be tricky. There are so many things going on here. Knight a1, just protecting the knight. He goes back with his knight. And then I will place my rook on d1, protecting the pawn, and it goes knight a5, attacking the pawn on c4. I'll defend it with queen f1, a6, then I gotta play c5, try to open things up a little bit, takes. And if you take on d1, I'll take with the bishop. So he doesn't take. And what do I do now? Bishop takes a6, gonna try to launch an attack here. He doesn't take, which means that the sacrifice did work. Is he gonna play knight e5? He is gonna play knight e5. I have only 1 minute more to take him down. Queen c4, queen f2, knight d3 maybe. That looks a little bit. No, he doesn't go for that. I really do not like this position. I have no idea what's going on here. No clue what's going on. Bishop f4, gonna try to neutralize his pressure. Gonna play b4. Ooh, that is a very nasty move. Why did I do that? Why on earth did I do that? That was a terrible move. a4, gonna protect the pawn on a3. Knight d3. I don't know what that is. I'm just gonna... Oh, that is a very clever move. Oh, that's the end of that game. Fantastic. Yeah, that's it, right? Yeah, because if I take, then he takes on a4. And then I will lose, because he takes on a1 as well. So, not a very good display here, but... Fighting the odds. Okay, I have to do better than that. But how do I get more than 2 minutes? That begs the question. Is it possible to get more than only 2 puny minutes? Anyway, we'll try to take him down with 1e4. Gonna fight his system. This time I'll play differently with h4, knight h3, knight g5. Gonna put my knight on g5, queen d2. Gonna castle long here with long castles. Takes on d4, bishop takes d4, castles, king d1. Now we have pressure against the d6 pawn here, b6, knight e2, and he plays d5. That is a little bit annoying. I'll play knight e3, defending against that. Rook d8, maybe bishop d3 is good. Knight e5, and I'll play rook e1. What is he gonna do now? I think I have everything under control and have a good position. Takes, and he's gonna take on d3, I guess. Or is he? No, he takes on e4. What is that? I'll just take. Knight c4, how's the material? I don't even know how the material is. I'm just gonna takes, and we have 2 pieces and a rook against the queen. That has to be good. Nai! Okay, I have this, right? Yes. But he has this. And then all of a sudden I've blundered. Are you serious? Oh no. Oh no. Yeah, bishop e3, queen takes c4. Damn it. How did this happen? Yeah, I can resign this too. How am I supposed to defeat him with only 2 minutes? Is that intentional? I gotta defeat Henrik with 2 minutes on the clock, and he's also blitzing. I have no time to think. I have no time to think. I'm gonna attempt once again. Otherwise, we gotta find a way to nerf him. So bishop e3, knight f6, f3, I guess. Queen d2, h5 is not really a common move. Now king d1, damn it. Knight e2, knight f4. I'm just gonna try something. I have no time to think. It's heartbreaking. a4, a5. Guess I'll put my king on e2, but that allows e5, and now I have to put my knight on the ugly h3 square, which it'll certainly take. Knight h5. This is also looking very bad. It's not looking good. King e7. So all of a sudden he does something crazy. That's good. Henrik in a nutshell, I guess. My boy Henrik. Alright, rook g4. I'm gonna try to grab the pawn on h4. He goes there. I'm just gonna take on h4. Queen b6. He wants to play queen e3. Queen b4. Oh, he has so many moves here. I'll just move my rook away. King f1. I think my king is safe for the time being. He has so good control of the dark squares. That's not good. I'll go h4, takes on d3, take back with the pawn. Queen takes b2, we'll go rook b1, then we'll take on b7, queen takes d3, and then we will have king g2. Now he has bishop d2, I completely missed that. Completely missed it. Oh no. Oh no, how do we deal with that? Maybe this? Oh, I can't do this, he has queen c1. That's kind of lucky. Yeah, it's the father is beating me. That's oh, maybe not. G7, G7. No, Rook G8. Why did I think that worked? Of course, it's not working. Bishop E3. Like everything works for him. It's disgusting. I'm gonna try to launch my pawns forward, and then yeah, he puts his bishop on F4, and then H6, doesn't he? Yeah, that's the issue. He has everything under control. There's nothing I can do. I'm gonna try to trick him, but I don't think I will be able to do that. Unfortunately. Yes, that's resigns. How am I supposed to defeat him? Look at my odds here. No AM. Today I did watch the European Championship, but I can't. There's no matches at this time. Alright, I'm gonna try once again, but how on earth am I supposed to do this? Do I need a handicap? Let's go. Alright, let's see what we can do. 1e4. 1e4 against Henrik. He plays his standard modern here, but I'm not very concerned because I think my system is very good. So he plays that. E5, Queen D2, Queen E7. I don't know what that is. Castles. He's gonna go for C6 probably. I'm gonna play Knight F2, try to play G4, and launch an attack against Henrik's king. Am I finally going to succeed? He takes on D4. Bishop takes. Knight C5. And then I will simply play G5. I don't care if he takes my pawn on E4, because I will grab as well on G7. Takes, Queen takes, Bishop takes G7, Bishop takes G7 and Bishop D3, and I will play H5 of an attack. He takes my rook. How does he dare to do that? He's gonna be in severe trouble now if he's not careful. And I, quite frankly, do not care about the missing exchange. I'm gonna play Queen D4, and I ask Henrik, how do you deal with my threats? So Bishop H6, Rook E5, is that his idea? No way this works. No, you gotta be kidding me. This can't work. Queen F4, Bishop F5. He's defending everything. He's defending everything. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Here, Rook C5, and that's the game. I can't, man. I blunder with so little time. I never met such a strong Henrik in my life. But Henrik is too strong. He's just way too strong. One more attempt. I have to be able to defeat him. I really have to, but I need to be very alert here. So maybe I'll try to talk a little bit less, but that makes the stream less entertaining. So that's the problem. Alright, 2 minutes. I don't have 5 minutes, I have 2 minutes. Just in what world is that going to be enough to take him down? I ask, very humbly. I don't really care about his queenside stuff, so takes B5. You could do that, but it doesn't do that much. Rook H7, Henrik? What's your idea? I don't care. We gotta start launching our pawns towards his king here. Takes. I'm gonna take back. We have the H file now for our rook. He placed that. We're gonna grab that as well, and we go Rook H7. We're gonna create some issues against his king. Do we have Queen H2 here? It goes E5. I'll play Knight E2. Maybe I'll maneuver my knight somewhere. Oh, I'm definitely gonna grab that. Queen H6 and Bishop G5. You have a beautiful pin now, and no, he has King G7. King G7, so I need to do something else. Knight G3, as far as I can tell. He needs to sacrifice his knight. We have a winning position now. Queen H4, but is it gonna be enough? Is it gonna be enough? How do we proceed? Knight D5 perhaps. Knight D5, Knight E4. Takes, and Knight E4 next, if he allows it. He tries to trade queens. I humbly decline, so Knight E4. Knight takes F7, this has to be completely winning. C5 now. C3, I don't care about that. Actually, I am gonna care about that, and I will take Queen B4, gonna attack the D6 pawn, Queen B8, how is he that good? Stop defending. Stop defending, please. Okay, I'm just gonna play safely here, but somehow he's able to create massive amounts of counterplay. Knight e4 maybe. And I blundered! Oh no! Damn it! Yeah, and yeah, I can't beat him. Damn it. He's too good. he's too strong. He's too strong. Henrik Papa Carson is on another level. He is on another level, unfortunately. I'll try one more. I mean, it has to be possible. Do I have some challenges? Seems like some people have challenged me as well to a game. Very nice. Maybe we will have time for some short Banter blitz games at the very end to make the day last a little bit longer. Alright, I'll try one more against my man Henrik. And otherwise we need to go handicap. I know that I can defeat him. I was completely winning this time. So he goes for the French, and he plays a line which is just lost. Bishop e5, knight e6, and then we should take the pawn. d4, and then knight e4. And then I blunder the bishop, because I forgot to play queen e2. That's a bit embarrassing. Oops. We will ignore that, and we will try again. e4, d6. So once again, I need to fight against the system here. So his system is not supposed to be good. It's pretty terrible. He takes on d4. It's not supposed to be good. So I just play g4 and I launch an attack. What is he supposed to do against it? And now I think I should just play bishop e2 with the intent of some things like takes on h5, followed by takes, and then f4, f5, and it's very dangerous for black. So I have f5, and I will open up his king completely. So f5, h4, h5. How is he going to survive the attack, I ask, but he's surely gonna find a way. So h6, king h7? There's no way that works. Takes, so he can't take, obviously, because that would give me severe problems in the diagonal. So bishop d3, and now rook g6. Does that work? So he's controlling the h1 square, and he actually just wants to take the pawn, and it's not an easy thing to prevent. Yeah, so he does that. Somehow he's gonna survive again. I know that he's gonna survive. I'll just move my king for now to avoid any trades that are completely unnecessary. Can I be able to obtain a winning position? And I don't think I will be able to do so, because this knight is blocking everything I'm attempting to do. So, alright, rook g8, I guess. I can't play rook g6 either. So I'm gonna maneuver my knight a little bit, so he's gonna trade even more pieces, but that's a very strange thing to do. Knight g4. Queen here. Takes. Rook h1. I can do that, right? He goes knight h2. There's no way this works, but I have only 25 seconds, and he has rook e3, and he wins my knight. Anyway, doesn't he? And, yeah, I have to take this endgame, but I'm not gonna be fast enough to win, I think. Queen e4, and then we have 16 seconds. Can we take him down? But there's no pre-moves. Where are the pre-moves? And I need to checkmate him also in order to win. I need to checkmate him. Check. Trade. I'm gonna trade the pawns. b5. No, king e6. King c5. Yes. Oh, king c7? Here? Oh, he's just in time. He's just in time. And I'm gonna flag. And I mouse slip every... Oh man, this is terrible. Alright, I don't have... the entire Carson family is tough to defeat. So I'll try one more of a handicap. Now I will... There's no way I will not be able to win. Gonna go for the Mad King. If he survives this, I'm gonna be shocked. Alright, so he goes there. I'm just gonna try to control the b6 square. Yeah, a4. And then I can play queen d2, right? No, wait. He has king b6, so I have to do something like this. He's somehow surviving, but I won a pawn. But I'm playing so badly that I don't think I'm going to win. I feel like such a terrible chess player. It's embarrassing, but that's life. So knight f3. I think I should be able to win. I really should be able to. Yeah, this I will win. If not, there's a retirement coming. No, oh, I made a mouse slip. That's a terrible mouse slip. Another mouse slip. Thank you so much. My luck is not... Things are not going my way today. It really isn't. Rook c4 and then takes. Rook c4. I'm not gonna win now that I blundered my exchange because of the mouse slip. Takes. Rook f8 maybe. Takes. Here. Yeah, he's winning this. But maybe I can push my pawn. Maybe it's not that clear yet because my pawn... Oh, he has a pawn himself. Which is gonna be more dangerous than my pawn. Yeah, he didn't fall for my trick. And now he has rook e2 also. I give up. Please end my misery. And before we finish, I guess I'll have some Banter blitz games against those who challenged me, and then the show is gonna be over. So do remember that we take a look at. Remember to subscribe to Henrik's channel, Magnus's dad, of course. Yeah, let's play some games at the end. Let's see, Banter. There we are. Here's the Banter. Let's just play a couple of games. So, few people have challenged me, so I'm just gonna humbly accept. And I realize the board is gone, so I need to get that on the screen here. There we go. Perfect. Let's just play a couple of games until we decide that enough is enough, and we will end the day with Henrik proving his superiority over me. But at least Magnus showed that the son is absolute. But in this case, the parent is absolute, because I scored approximately 0 out of like 8 points against Henrik. So let's just can't even focus. I'm too embarrassed. I'm too embarrassed of my shocking display. I'm too embarrassed, but it's okay. Henrik is a very strong player when he is in form, and he does seem to be in a decent form these days. Also, note that you could check out the interview that I did with Henrik on Magnus's channel. He reveals a lot of things. Retirement with 24, nice, but first make an appointment with the barber so your mother will let you in the house. Oh yeah, my hair is looking terrible these days. I don't mean Henrik's channel, I mean Magnus's channel. It must have been a horrible mispronunciation of on my part. I'm just I've lost all focus after I lost literally every game against Henrik. I feel like such a noob. But As a matter of fact, I'm not such a strong chess player anyway, so perhaps it's deserved, isn't it? Okay, so knight c1. He could go b3, but he goes knight c5 instead. So I'll try to open Blunder Panda's king here with f6. And takes. Rook f1, rook h7. We're gonna attack on the pawn on f7. So let's see how that goes. So bishop e7, rook h7, and then rook f8, bishop h5. So we are gonna win. We could even take right away. And my legs have fallen asleep. Not good. All right. So what's next? Queen h6, perhaps. So he goes rook f8. He is defending everything. So I'll play queen g7, rook h7, and then what? Bishop h5, bishop e6, perhaps. There's a lot of ways we could approach this position, and it does seem like, just like Henrik, Blunder Panda is defending, but will Austria also defend tomorrow? Only time will tell. Okay, I have to be extremely careful. My position is really bad, I think. A3, yeah. Ooh, why did I allow that? I'm gonna lose again. I don't know what's going on with me, but I absolutely suck at chess at the moment. I'm dead lost. I made it in like a few moves. Yeah, he's one step ahead, and a bloody important step as well. So I doubt that I'll find a way past this one, but I have survived Blunder Panda in outrageous ways earlier, so maybe that will be the case now. I just don't see it. So rook takes. Where's the mate? So can I play a4? I'm gonna try to be as annoying as I possibly can. He takes it a knight, and it's completely dead lost. The only shelter I had, I just got rid of, just like that, for some reason. So queen e3, knight d2. I don't quite see the mate just yet. Oh, I see it. But I'm not gonna tell him. Wait, what? I don't see it. Oh, he allows me to escape? Thank you. Now I'm not mated. But I have only 20 seconds, and it's gonna be an intense 20 seconds here, but I might be able to flag Blunder Panda, so he also is very low on time. So we're gonna play rook g6, rook g8. We're gonna play rook g8 here, and then he goes there, rook c1. And my mouse, what's happening? My mouse froze. Everything froze. Bishop c4. Bishop c4, knight c3, and then what? King b2. I'm gonna try to play here. Rook c4 now, d5, rook c6. Gonna take on c3. We're just gonna take everything. e4, king e2, take on here, take on e4. Bishop d3, knight f3 takes here. And maneuver the knight somewhere. And he is playing very, very fast right now. So I'm just gonna grab his pieces, and we are also grabbing the rook, and it should be enough to take him down, and we do take him down again. Thank you so much. Oh, this is fantastic. Wait, it isn't Father's Day in Norway, right? Yeah, it's not. It's Father's Day in the big countries. That's true. Scheisse, Blunder Panda says, and he does have a point. He should have been doing well. Radiculous. Oh man, hope you're doing well, my good friend. You should also challenge yourself with the premium membership you got. Thanks for the game. You got it. So close, but no cigar for Blunder Panda. Because the parent is absolute. Alright, so knight c3, knight c6. We're gonna grab that contra mi amiguito Leoncito de Perú, que está comiendo ceviche. Y el ceviche, muy rico. Okay, knight e4, queen c7. We'll defend the pawn with f4, queen b6. This is theory. And now it's supposed to be c4, bishop b4, king e2, I think the line goes. Yes, king e2, and even king f3. So f5, yes, that's correct. I take bishop e3, I think. And then queen a6. What do I do then? I take on f6 probably, right? Dirty flagger all day, all night long. All right, so the little lion is stuck and thinking. The Peruvian lion here has no idea what to do, and that's good. That's a great sign for us. I do know that 96 is possible, but king e7. I'm not sure what's going on. No, he can just... He could probably take two. Yeah, king e7 looks interesting. Can't really remember the details. I will analyze this line in my Chessable course, but I haven't gotten around to it quite yet. So he goes all the way back to c7. Fantastic. So how do we deal with that? We can do a lot of things. The problem with this line is usually that black is struggling to get d5 going, but now he's been able to play f5, so he has sort of... That thing is no longer an issue, really. So I'll just grab that, and... king f3 is a funny move. King d3 is an even funnier one, but it really doesn't do anything. c5 is a move I like. And his bishop is sort of in trouble here, although he can always play d6, but that's going to give him a weak pawn on c6. So I'm hoping that I will get a decent endgame here. So king f3, I guess he's going to take, then I will take with the rook. I could even take with the queen and potentially queen c4, but I don't really see it. And neither does Leoncito, espero, but maybe he does. Or maybe he doesn't. I don't know. Hard to tell. So there we go. So queen b7 from the little lion. Alright. I wonder kind of what he wants to do with that. Okay, I guess he just wants to... Yeah. What's the purpose? And also, just a reminder that you can play Henrik and you also play Magnus on both Magnus Trainer and play Magnus apps, I think. Right? Yes. I hope I delivered the right message. But yes. So download the app today and challenge Henrik on your own. But I do warn you, he is a dangerous man, because in his prime he was a fantastic player. Alright, so I'm just gonna take, so c5, queen e4, my man. It doesn't achieve anything. So the only thing he wanted to was to open the king. But to be fair, his king is not the safest one. Alright. So YouTube, gonna take a look at the different chats. Nothing too insane is happening. Alright, so I'm gonna play f5. e5 doesn't do too much because I just block it. And I got... What? Oh, he got rook f8. No, he doesn't, because it's check. Mi amigo, perdiste la torre. Well, thank you for the game. Very, very great. Chess Uda is challenging me. Is that Uda, who has now become a FIDE master from the Dominican Republic even. Wow. Uda has gotten very strong. Uda from Play Magnus. Let's see what she can do here. Alright, so e4, e5, knight f3, knight c6. I guess I'll go bishop c4. It's classic Italian against Leonardo Esteves. So bishop e7 is not really the move here, Uda. So we go d4, d6. I don't know the refutation of this line, and that kind of annoys me. I'll just develop naturally. I had mate in 4, so stupid I didn't see it. And I saw it, I know. It happens, brother. It's there's no shame in it. No shame at all. Alright, castles. White lies, rubbing it in here. So knight takes, knight takes. His position is completely solid, I guess. It's okay. So knight e7, standard. He wants to play bishop f6 or knight e5 or even knight c5 with some pressure against my pawn. I'll just play bishop e3 and bishop f6, queen d2, f3. Then place my bishop on b3 where it aims against the pawn in f7. Maybe bishop e2 is the better square, but after bishop e6 I always have knight e5 anyway, so it's all good. So takes, I do want to take, c6, bishop b3 anyway, so perfect. Bishop e3, rook e1, f4 maybe. A lot of great stuff happening here. I had to sack the rook and then the queen swing over with mate in 2. Oh yeah, that's beautiful. But it's, as the people point out, it's not easy to see. I certainly don't fault you for it. I don't even know how long my schedule is for the show. Is anybody else gonna take the scene? It does not look like it. I haven't seen anything. It's very late. Gotta assure that I can make it back to my crib in time. Alright, so we defend the pawn on b2. If he does decide to take, we'll have bishop b6 and we'll grab on d8. And Chess Uda will lose an exchange. And the game probably too, because I don't think he can afford that material deficit. Alright. f4 perhaps. Nice little move there. He wants to play knight e6. That's a clever way to proceed. I guess the way I will break through is that I one day play e5, but it's easier said than done to do so. And I do want to keep the bishop pair. So I'm just gonna maneuver a little bit back and forth, but doesn't achieve anything. What have I done? Just bishop f4 and then gone back to the e3 square. A little bit silly. Very silly. So I'll play f4 now. It's about time. And then bishop f2. And then try to play e5 with potential pressure against f7. Queen e2, queen f3. People who are great at bullets are because they have a great chess understanding. That's sort of true. And also, your instincts are great. If you just want to see tactics, then train tactics. That's it. Train more tactics, and you will become better at tactics. So h5 now, pressuring the g6, the g6 pawn. Some additional pressure. I do not agree. I mean, it depends. I mean, bullet is about people who are good at bullet. They see stuff very quickly, which is why grandmasters are better at bullet, because they see stuff more quickly. But you have people who are not as good in blitz as they are in standard chess, and that's because you could say that the people who are very good at short time controls, they are more talented in a way. And the people who are not as good in blitz, they usually work very, very hard. And they get rewarded that way. But anyway, we have 20 seconds to take down Chesuda. Will we be able to do that? We're going to place a rook in the H-file start. A massive attack against the Dominican here, who has the black pieces. So we're going to open up the diagonal, takes, pawn takes, queen g4. We will attack g6, rook h7, and then rook h1 in order to protect the rook. And we have 15 seconds in order to take down the final blow, and he he attacks our rook. But blunders the pawn, and I blunder after that move. So we have to give an exchange, and we have to hope that it's gonna be enough to flag the Dominican here. Takes. King f3. Here, bishop d3. 95. Takes. c5 maybe? No, he doesn't go for that. He really wants to stop our pawns with king g4, and that's fine. Completely fine. Rook e4 here. Rook e4 again. Bishop e5 here. Here takes. King g6. King c7 here. Takes, and we flag him once again, but also the composition is completely winning, and we take the full point, and we are one number less away than to approach 3,000. If that makes any sense. I guess it doesn't. It's probably the worst English sentence I've ever constructed, but a win is a win, and we are playing the Croatian mod Dangerous Ride with the black pieces, and there is a lot at stake. And let's see if he's going to be able to stand the pressure of playing Father Gascoigne. I don't know. Gotta wait and see. And he does not play at all. So I will abort him for now, so we can move on to the next challenge. We have a few more. Onam is the next person with increment, so now we do not need to worry about getting flagged. So 1e4. d6 from the Spaniard. d4. Knight f3, knight f6, knight c3, g6. He plays the Pierce. I'll develop the bishop to e3. He can play a lot of things. He plays c6 right away, then I'll play h3, and then f4, knight f3, which is a good Austrian attack, because usually when you play against the Austrian attack, you want to get a counterplay against the center. And the way you do that is that you play c5 quickly. But now, in this setup here, that's not possible. So I'll play e5 while I have the chance. And if he takes, I'll take with the f pawn, right? Yeah, that looks correct. So he goes there, I'll take, and then bishop d3. And he has a pawn on d5 and some control in the center, but it really doesn't matter much. Because if he wants to utilize that and play knight b6, we can always play b3, which will prevent him from jumping to c4. And then he really doesn't have much going on. So, Chesuda, gracias por la partida, fue un placer. So, Mutt, hello again. Hello. Sorry for Turkey. But to be fair, they played terribly in this championship, much to everyone's surprise. So, bishop d7 castles. a5, a4. Would you accept bullet? Yeah, I could accept bullet. Alright, so maybe knight g5. Start an attack with queen g4. Look at our position. We have control over everything. He doesn't have anything to do here. And queen g4, our queen is now joining the attack. So knight f3, knight h4 is possible, or h4, h5, even sacrifices on like h7 or f7. I think we got this one in the bag. I think we really do. So, what is he? How is he going to fight us at this moment? Oh, he goes knight d7. I will play. What should I do about that? H4. And then h5. and then take on g6. Take on h7 and then on g6. Perfect. So he goes there, but then the sacrifice is imminent. I think that's a word. Take on g6, queen h7, and it's gonna be mate. So the Pierce, I got it in the bag. I have analyzed this in great depths. I am inevitable, just like Thanos. And I do not have battery on my phone. What's going on? 6%. We need some battery. We need some alkaline battery on the phone. So let's go queen h7, and it's all mate. Here we go again, and then we have my favorite combo, Math, Chess, Science, Music from the United States, who's gotten himself a premium membership. Thank you so much for going premium, and also thank you for everybody who's watching this evening at Father's Day. And the Math, Chess, Science, Music, I hope that you are spending your time with your daddy today, and that you're thanking Papa Math, Chess, Science, Music for everything that he has done for you. And if you're a father yourself, which I guess some people in the chat are, then I hope that you get the treatment that you deserve. At least I hope that your kids show how much they appreciate you, which I'm sure they do. There's a lot of... I don't know if there are any fathers in the chat. I know that they're... I don't know. Maybe Flinsbacher is a father. But my man, Math, Chess, Science, Music, is not responding. So, wait a little bit more. Until we, continue. Alright, so we're gonna abort that game. Also, guys, remember, subscribe to the Play Magnus channel. Of course. Don't forget about that. The link is in the description right here. I think. Alright, so we aborted you for the time being, and then we will accept the Turkish and then play a bullet game. And the bullet, it's not going to be any problems. So I'm sure that we are gonna defeat him at the very end. So d3, d5 takes, gonna sacrifice. He doesn't take the pawn. Bishop d6, castles, h6. h6, bishop e6, rook e8, knight d7, takes the bishop, takes queen c7. Just gonna develop our pieces, start attacking with knight g4. Is he gonna play h3? Yes, he is. And then I can jump to h2. Try to create some issues. He takes on e6. That doesn't do much. Takes e5. Support our center. And then knight f6. Play e4. Takes. No, he doesn't take. Bishop h2. Bishop f4. Trade some more pieces. I'm sure he's going to take. He does decide to take queen e3. I will take that. I will also take the bishop. And we have a very nice endgame here. Takes. Trade some more pieces. I've traded a little bit too much, so now the game should head towards the draw, but he blunders his rook, and we are winning against Mott. So thanks for that. We have one more game, and after that, it's time to say goodbye, but of course, happy Father's Day to everybody, and remember, you can play Henrik in the Play Magnus app and have a go at Papa Carson. And without him, there would be no Magnus Carlsen. And the chess world would certainly have been a lot different. And you can also check out the interview on Magnus's channel. And remember, also, subscribe to the Play Magnus channel on YouTube. So, a knight b6. 92 castles. Dangerous ride. Let's see what he can do. So I sort of was in a bullet mood right now. I haven't really done such great things, but where is the Father's Day today? The Father's Day is in the US, the UK, and Australia at least. I think it might be in Canada as well, but I don't know. But those big countries, it's Father's Day in all of those countries at least. I know the Father's Day thing is a bit confusing because it's a different day in like every country, pretty much. But we thought it makes sense right now. So Queen E7. But yeah, Father's Day in Norway is usually around November. So that's at a different time. Alright, so dangerous ride. Are you gonna capture the bishop? You're not gonna capture the bishop. Alright, I will develop my bishop. Rook c8, b4, knight c4. Very good. And yeah, he could very well play e4, but I'm not concerned about that. So he does take. I will take back. There is no knight a4, so he cannot jump to c5 yet. He needs to get a knight to b3, but that's going to take a long time. Because my bishop perfectly covers the a4 square. Also, I can also just play b6, so it's nothing to worry about. So a4, rook c8, I'll play rook c4. b5, you can do that if you want. I don't really care. He certainly should have had his knight on f3 now, because he could have played knight e5, or even knight e2, knight b3, knight c5. But he doesn't. The knight stays on the e2 square. You are so fast. I shouldn't have pre-moved, but by the way, there's delay in my stream. I don't know why. Yeah, there's always a delay, but I think we've had some issues for some reason. I think I've been dropping frames during the stream. But apparently it hasn't been too shabby. Oh man, I was solving puzzles. Oh man, indeed. I'll accept you next, don't worry. But there's only 12 minutes left of the stream until Father Gascoigne is done on Father's Day. Oh, we could take, but then I take on e3. Not too concerned. Alright, bishop there. I guess I'll... that's a good move, I suppose, but I'll just ignore him. Grab another. Another one. Rook d8. He could go rook c7 if he wants to. Ooh, queen b6. He's targeting thy rook. My rook. So he will take, I guess. Gotta be a little bit careful of what I do here. But he doesn't have any time. So time's up for dangerous ride. But maybe not time's up for Croatia. That remains to be seen. So rook c8 is met by rook takes c8 now that he covers the f1 square. And alright, how can we deal with his pressure here? Queen g5 maybe, and then h5, h4. He goes there, fine, and then I'll play h5 and then h4. So he goes there. Why didn't I play queen e3? That's a mystery. I'll just go back. I will not trade, and he doesn't have any time, so we're just gonna sack. I'm just gonna sack my way through, and it's over. Wonderful. Why the video is lagging every 10 seconds? Not sure what's going on if that's the case. It says that I'm dropping frames. It could be that reason, but I don't know. I just cross my fingers that everything is alright. So the last game of the day is the game against Mapchest Chinese Music. And after that, it's time to take my leave. But my face will be on the screen tomorrow. Because there will be this huge event, this tournament arena on the new play zone, which will be absolutely sick. So stay tuned for that. So he goes c5, and I will, of course, head into the main lines with knight f3, d6, d4, takes. I have a feeling that the reason why I'm dropping frames is because my PC is requesting a major update. I didn't realize that until it was way far too late, so that is sort of on my cape, as we say in Norwegian. And yes, remember, download Play Magnus today. Download Magnus Trainer to play Magnus and Henrik and the rest of the gang, Judith Polgar, among others. It's absolutely fantastic, just like my position in this game. I'll try to play h4, h5, open the position here. And not very often, when he plays h5, we can respond with g4. Ooh, very dangerous. There's danger lurking in the air. So we will play h5, the standard plan of attack. Knight takes, and then g4. Yeah, it seems like the frame rate is dropping. Yuck! I hate that. And I have the best internet too, so this is very strange. It seems like it's probably because of my computer requiring an update. It's Windows being a pain in the ass. Alright, so I'm just gonna take, and then g4, g5, rook takes h5, and boom. It's gonna be mate. So there you go. g4, g5. And he has one defense. Yeah, king h8, and then knight g8. It's the only defense. But I'll take on g5 and on h5, and I think it's just horrible. Well, he plays h4, but then I have this on g5, and now it's at least it's maybe not. He has this really annoying trick, mouse slip. Oh, he wanted to take the pawn. Rip. You wanted to take the pawn, but then what happens then? H takes. Oh, I just take on d6, I think. It looks very lost. Alright, so rook takes h4, bishop takes b3.